Hello! Today I'm going to show you how to make a pumpkin thing. Where's my beard gone? Okay, hang on a second. We'll put my beard back on first. Oh wait, what's happened to all my skins? What? Okay, I'm gonna ignore that. Let's build the pumpkin thing. So, pumpkin pies. They're a good food. How do you make them? You have to have eggs. You have to have sugar, which we'll actually use sugar canes, and you have to also have pumpkin, which I can't spell. Pumpkin. There we go. Pumpkin. Perfect. And I will just show you the recipe so you get one of those. You get some of these. There you go, pumpkin pie. So what I want to do today is set up a machine that will automatically craft these. So this is the way I'm going to do it. So you want to create this setup here. You want your auto crafter facing forwards. Have these 3 slots open. You need to put the ingredients in them. That's important. So you need to have a stack of each ingredient already. Then you have a hopper going into either side, a hopper going into the top. From here, you then need comparators measuring what's in these hoppers. And the blocks need to come out this much. On the end you want torches, and then you want redstone dust. And now you see the redstone is linking over, so it's important. I'm going to use wool for this, so you remember, it'll help you remember, you need to block these off. See, now the redstone isn't connected, whereas there it was. That's so these redstone lines don't interfere with each other. So these will all measure each individual hopper, so that one measures that one measures that one, that one measures that one. Which will mean that the autocraft is only going to activate when each of these has an overflow, and that's very important. So now we'll go for the clock circuit. So you want to place something here, this area, and we can test this by taking the torches off. You put a torch there, it's on, put a torch there, it's on, put a torch there, it's on, and that's how you know it's in the right position. So it needs to look like that. And what basically happens here is if this has an overflow, it'll turn that torch off. But that won't turn off yet. That also needs an overflow, and that needs an overflow as well. And then once you've got a surplus of all the ingredients, that is the only point at which this will turn off and the clock will begin. And now we have to go under here and make the clock. And thanks for being patient, by the way, because I'm doing this from memory, so we'll see if I get it right the first time. We've got our crafter there. That's the block I probably want to power. I might be inclined to just punch this out for a second just to make it easier for you to see what I'm doing. So you need to have a little system, basically, that's going to look like this, I think. See, it makes a clock. And that here, that redstone will lock it. So if all of these torches turn off, you've got your little clock going. And we need it to be this slow as well, by the way. That's important. It helps with lag, and it also gives the machine a chance to refill itself. So that's your clock that you make. And then all you need to do is just carry this signal here to there. You see? It's crafting the pumpkin pies. So we'll put these back here now. At this point you need to decide where your pumpkins and where your eggs and where your sugar's going to come from. So this is a fully automated factory. This is the thing where you can put the ingredients in. It will make them for you. But if you want to add stuff to it, keep watching the video, because now we're going to do the next chapter, which is adding the ingredients. Easiest one for me is chickens. You literally just need some glass and you just need some eggs. You can farm eggs by getting a chicken, luring it with some seeds, making it sit on top of a hopper for a while. That's as simple as that is. And my trick for survival for chickens is to use trapdoors. I'm going to use copper doors because they're fun to look at. Use trapdoors, and then you throw the eggs down like this. Aim just where the hopper is. And you can also, if you really want to, you can get seeds, and the chickens will try and walk over the trapdoor, and then they'll fall into the trapdoor. And what you can do as a player, if you fall down, you can just jump and right click at the right time. I didn't do it right then, but if you jump and right click at the right time, you can sort of tower yourself out. And that's how I do it in survival. Also protects them from lightning, so that's important. We'll just spawn some more chickens in here, which obviously you can't do in survival, but I've just shown you how to do it in survival. So we'll do the creative version now, just to make my life a little bit easier. Fill this up with chickens. Look, I'm trapped in here with the chickens. How am I going to get out? You need to jump, and you need to just get the trapdoor at the right second. It's not that easy to do, and now I'm stuck in here. You just gotta, there you go. But you can do it can be done. And now whenever these chickens lay an egg, the egg's gonna go into here, and you'll notice that they'll start to build up. So whenever they lay an egg, the eggs are gonna go in here, and you will see very quickly that this one turns off, because egg stacks are really, really easy to get. So basically the whole machine is going to be, the way I do it in my survival world is it's kind of powered by the eggs. So this is the eggs, and we don't really need item frames here, but I'm going to use them for your sakes to make your life easier. So eggs and sugar and pumpkin. Okay, we'll put the pumpkins here, put the egg there, and put the sugar there. We don't need these item frames, this is just to show you, so it's easier for you to understand what I'm building as I'm building it. Okay, next thing we want is some more wool for the circuitry. And we're going to start building the sugarcane farm. Now the sugarcane farm is really easy. I'm going to make a very basic one first. Yeah, really, really simple one. And we need a piece of mud as well for this. And how you get mud is you get some dirt, any piece of dirt like that, and a bottle of water. So you can craft a bottle of water with glass, and then you just right click some water and it gets water in it, and that's how you make mud. And you just pick it up by left clicking it. You don't need silk touch or anything. And mud is very useful because you can put it on top of a hopper like this, and items will still get sucked into the hopper because it's not actually a full block, it's slightly lower than a full block. And a hopper looks for the entire full block above it if there's any items touching in that area. So mud's very useful. So what I'm going to have over here is we're going to have, to be honest, on my world the farms that fuel this thing are quite far apart, but here we don't need them to be. So we could even get away with not even having ice. We could get away with literally having our farm here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm wondering if there's a way I could sneak that in. That chicken, we'll ignore that for now. I'll just release him. We don't need those anymore. You've seen where those go. So now what I need is the sugarcane farm, and I think I'm just going to try and build it over here quickly. And it's very important that you block this area up here, put the water in, and you need just one sugarcane for this. And you can expand this farm, and that's very easy to do. I'll show you how to do it in a second. But yeah, you just literally need to have, and you can do hopper lines if you want. I will sometimes use droppers, so I'd have a dropper there, and then it would fire items into a water stream. And I might show you how to do that in a second as well. So this is it. This is the farm. Got to make sure you've got water there. So I'm going to just get glass. Let's to make sure we don't forget that point needs water. Okay, that keeps the sugarcane moisturized. And then we just need an observer. This is a very, very slow farm, by the way. It's incredibly slow. But it's very easy. I mean, look at that. That's it. It's done. There's your farm. And when the sugarcane grows, it breaks it and it falls into there and it goes into that bit. But you'll notice something's wrong here. We've got sugarcane coming in where we should have sugar. So what do we do with this? Well, we need to do another crafter. I forgot to do that. Sorry about that. So we'll put another crafter here, right? And then we do that. And that turns into sugar. And now, whenever there's something in there, we need it to power that. So what I'm going to do now down here is we're going to get a different colour of wool for this redstone. And we will have some comparators. Comparators are fun. This bit might feel complicated. Okay, so I'm going to try and sneak it around the back, just so it's all flat at the front. So that gets powered there. Okay, we can get rid of that blue block there. And then here we'll have another comparator, right? Another crafter around the back. And we might actually want to move that one forward, because we might as well. So here we've got this, and I just want to get a piston just to show you what's happening. So this piston's extended because those are all full, but it's currently, when you just place a comparator normally, it will look like that. And then here you'll notice nothing's changed. That needs to all be selected. You take out this, you see the piston goes down, put something in, piston goes up. So that's how we're going to do that system. And it's a very simple thing is we're going to just have another one of these little clocks down here, basically. Exactly the same thing as before, most likely. Because it'll just be a bit easier to do that. So we'll do this, and I just make sure that torch comes on when there's nothing in there. Yeah, so it comes on when there's nothing in there. And then we just build another one of these little clocks. Okay, so same as before. We want to just have a timing thing and some redstone torches and a redstone dust. Then it's making a little clock. So whenever there's nothing in there, the clock is off. When there's something in there, the clock is on. And then what we want to do is we need to power that. And that's done it. That's it. That's all we need to do for that little circuit, is have another thing down there. So just zoom back. That's how it looks, the brown circuit. So you just have this X shape with a repeater facing into that block, dust underneath, torch, and that'll form a loop. You have a bit of dust on here, which is running off this redstone torch, which is turned on whenever there's not enough sugarcane in there. And we'll see now, if I just put a chest instead of a hopper in, you'll see that things will be working. So if I put this here, and I imagine we'll just chuck this sugarcane in, it's going to keep doing the thing. It's going to keep doing it. So there you go. It's making the sugar for us. And what we want to do is that. So it goes into here. You see it fills up. And now that's going to slowly start to fill up as well. And eventually that's going to have an overflow, and it will turn that torch off. And then when all three things have an overflow, this clock will activate, the lime green one, and then it will start making the pumpkin pies for us, which we can see in this chest when it's got an overflow. So now we've got the sugarcane farm. Now if you did want to expand this farm, all you'd need to do is just add more hoppers, add more mud, add more water. So you'd come out here like this, Get my bucket of water. And you'd add more sugarcane. And you would add more pistons, but you won't actually need to add another observer, you just need one. And you see, so that one could grow up to 3, that one could grow up to 3, and then when that one grows, they all get harvested. And obviously, you do need to put glass in front as well. Sometimes you'll get like one sugarcane might pop out of the machine, but that can be fixed by again having more hoppers here and now having some like glass panes instead of glass blocks. But I don't think it's worth the effort to have that much extra hoppers, because this, if you build these things big enough, they will fire like all the time. You can also have on Bedrock Edition, you can have a redstone powered one where you use bone meal to grow the sugar cane through a dispenser, and then it just breaks it a split second later. And that, I've got a double-sided one in my base, and it produces stacks upon stacks really quickly, because I just get bones all the time from mining and killing skeletons and stuff like that. You can't do that on Java though, so that's why I've designed this version. This version basically works on both versions of the game. So yeah, you can't do it on Java, unfortunately. Now the pumpkin farm is really easy, actually. I really love little pumpkin farms. They're brilliant. So you need an observer, you need a piston, you need redstone dust, you need some wool to build your circuit on, and I probably should have used orange wool because it would have looked cool, but that doesn't matter. And you get some pumpkin seeds, and you can get these from a jungle, or sometimes you can get them from a wandering trader as well, and mine shafts and stuff like that. And you need farmland, and the way to get farmland, you know what, I'm going to show you how to do it in survival, because some of you might not know. And you need water as well. You get a bucket of water. So this is pretty much all you need in my inventory right now. And I'm just going to build. I'm going to go back a little bit just to make my life easier. So you want a 5 wide bit of dirt, and then you need some. I'm going to use glass. You don't have to use glass. The reason I'm using glass is so you can see where the water is. And you don't have to remember it in the video. You can just look at any point and you can see where the water is. You don't need to worry about remembering it. So you don't need to worry about the water. There's the water, nice and simple. You want to hoe, and hoe that. You actually could probably get away with doing a 7. Let's do a 7. So we do a 7 wide platform. Okay, and pumpkins can grow that direction or that direction. And then here you want, on top of the dirt, pistons. Okay, so you've got the ground here, and you just right click it with a hoe, it turns into farmland. You only need farmland for the seeds, and then in the middle, tell you what, we'll add some torches. I have just realised that I've built this probably like 1 block lower than I needed to. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to destroy this. I'm going to build it maybe 2 blocks higher now, just to make my life a little bit easier. One, two, three, 4. And the reason for that is just so for your sakes. I mean, what I would do in my world is I travel everything through like water elevators and stuff. You don't need to do that if you've like got everything right the first time, because I've got loads of buildings in my survival world which are at different heights, and it looks cool, but it's not the easiest way to build redstone, so I'm doing it the easier way for you. So you want to hoe in between the pistons. Okay, then you place your seeds, then you get torches, and we'll just put some torches here. That will help the stuff grow. And now we want to go behind them, and we have an observer, and we need an observer behind every 2 pistons. So you don't necessarily need one here, because you could have one here and it would activate that one, as long as it activates the furthest piston. So on the edges you want a piston, and then in between each piston you need observers. And then here, what I like to do, and this for me saves on blocks and makes it easier to build extra bits onto the farm in the future, is I like to have wool behind the observers, and it saves on redstone because that powers that. Now each time one of these grows, it'll get popped off. So now what I want to do is go down here, and you need to have a little water funnel. You see, you notice that I've built this as close to the farm as I possibly can without interfering with the redstone. You could build it further away if you like. In my survival world it is further away, but I think this looks good. You need to make sure here that there's a solid block on top of this, and that's so it's really easy for you to tell what, you know, where everything is, and that you're not going to accidentally flood your redstone. Very, very useful to not moisturize your redstone. That's one of the least favorite things that you can do in Minecraft. Do not moisturize your redstone. Not smart. Okay, so then you've just put some water here. I've just realized, right, that I could have built that one lower down, but it doesn't matter. You need to have water. Oh, we've got water at the back here. I've already done that. You see, even I forgot that they placed water, so we have water already. And now you just need water here, and that pours into there, and water here. And you see everything. Once I say I get some pumpkins, and I start throwing the pumpkins out of my inventory, they'll zip over there, and they'll go back into there, and now they're in that area, and the pumpkins are in there. And we should, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get rid of that chest because I want to show you guys visually. I want you to see the pumpkin pies turning up. So we'll chuck these pumpkins in. I'm going to just change the tick speed. And what that does, you can only do this in creative, is it just makes the world a bit faster. So I like to change it to 200. And you'll notice the pumpkins will grow really fast. The sugarcane will grow really fast. And this is the whole farm. And you can fit this into a house fairly easily, I think. See that clock down there is going? Because we've got the sugarcane coming in. I have just noticed there's a slight flaw here. So I'll just block that glass up there. Whenever sugarcane goes into here, it gets converted into sugar because it turns that clock on. Same again here. We just have to wait for the chickens to lay loads of eggs now, probably. That's probably what we're waiting for. You see it's firing the pumpkins out. And you can just add more glass to stop pumpkins escaping. It's not too difficult to do. And you don't need to do it with glass either. I just like doing it with glass for redstone's sakes because I like looking at redstone. It's fun. You also need to cover that up. Sugarcane can naturally generate 4 tall, but it won't grow any more than 3 ton from this thing, I don't think. Or at least you can't bone meal up to 3 tall. Maybe it can go up to 4 tall. Let's find out. Be a fun experiment. Wonder which one will grow first. Okay, I'm going to just break this for a second and we'll just find out, because that's an extra fun little side experiment. But look, you see it's just producing stuff. So the chickens have laid enough eggs now. Whenever a chicken lays an egg, it just fires out more pumpkin pies. The chickens are really putting the effort in with the egg laying at the moment as well. So we've got this whole thing going. I've just realised we don't actually need that block there. That block's unnecessary. So you can have the clocks look like that instead. But I like the X shape. It makes it feel more like a clock for me. But yeah. There we go. We've got it. We've got an automatic pumpkin pie farm that I built from memory in one take. I'm quite proud of myself, to be honest. I'm a bit sad my beard fell off, but we'll live with it. Look at that. Pumpkin pies. And obviously you just need to put a chest on that. There you go. Pumpkin pies for life. And that is so easy to build. You can build up pretty early on in the game because there's not that much redstone in it. So yeah, as you can see, they only grow up naturally. They can generate up to 4 tall, but they only grow naturally 3 tall. Yeah, as you see here, it's now producing the sugar. The sugar goes into here. And then when the chickens lay enough eggs for an overflow, and there's enough pumpkins for an overflow, and there's enough sugar for an overflow, all of these things switch on. So right now we're waiting on eggs. That's the main thing that's slowing us down. And all you need to do to fix that is you just need to put more chickens in the machine. So yeah, that's it. And these 3 lines just control, you know, if there's an overflow, it'll turn that off and it'll allow the clock to do its thing. So there we go. I've been Real Philip Clarter / Grumble Bricks. I've yet to decide what YouTube channel to put this video on. I'll probably put it on both. But yeah, it's my new thing now. I really want to just show people some redstone stuff. Try and do it in one take so it's easy to understand. Because I think sometimes when you're editing, it's too easy to do jump cuts and then people get a bit confused and they're like, oh, you've missed a step. I don't want to run that risk. I want to just show you how these things work. But let's be realistic about it now. Let's turn this tick speed back to normal. I'll show you, it is quite slow. So we've still got the sugarcane going. And we are picking up the pumpkins and stuff. I don't really know how that's happened there. I'm going to just ignore that. He can go over there. So yeah, the only thing you want to do to make it faster is scale it up. So you make more of these. You make more of these. These are really easy to make more of as well because you can just... I like to go up 2 more because then you can have lighting blocks there to keep it lit up, and then you just build the exact same thing again, and you can store the water. The water would go here, so let's say this is water, so you'd have a light block there, and then you've got a block there, and then you've got your pistons and your observer and your block, and you just, that's it. That is a melon or pumpkin farm module right there. It's that simple. So you get a little bit of hoed ground, you get your seeds, the seed grows, you got your water contained here, which obviously that isn't water, but we'll turn it into water now. Yeah, that's it. That is as difficult as it gets. So you've got your observer, when the seed has grown up, fires the piston, the plant drops down, goes into here, goes into the thing, the chicken lays the egg, it turns into the thing. Perfect. How many more have we got? It's still pumping them out, even though it's quite slow. So in my world, the main thing that makes it slower is the rate of chicken egg laying, because I don't want to have thousands of chickens, because I've built mine near my base, obviously. And the issue with that is, well, you get like 1 million chickens, and they cause lag. But yeah, look, it's pumping them out again. So if I just clear my inventory, let's see how many we've actually got here. We've got 2 pumpkin pies there, just as I was talking. So it's not that bad. And you can just build these up as well. One thing you do need to be aware of is the limit to redstone. So it can go up to 14. And you just want to add repeaters at that point, just to farm more sugarcane if you want to make it quite long. There's better ways of doing this. Like I said before, you can use bone meal dispensers, and then you could just have one sugarcane plant that's constantly getting bone mealed whenever you put bone meal in the system. And you could rig a composter up to a different automated crop farm, like a cactus farm, that would generate the bone meal to power the sugarcane farm, so you could have something else in the distance. And then that would still be fully automatic, but it would use bone meal instead of loads of hoppers and loads of pistons. But yeah, this is the version that you can build pretty early on in the game. You could fit that in a house. You just have that in your base, and whenever you get hungry, it'll probably have some pumpkin pies in it if you've built it big enough. So yeah, that's it. That is the video. We did it. We did the thing. The next video is probably going to be me reading a bit of a book. Isn't that fun? I'll see you next time.